We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and apologies, we had some technical problems there, but we are back underway. There's a man at first base for St. Francis. And an 0-2 count on Travis Schoonover, who was trying to bunt unsuccessfully. Now with 2 strikes, he decides to pull the bunt back and take a ball outside, 1-2. No score in the bottom of the 6th. Kenuel Dominguez on the mound for Olivet has been brilliant today. He's given up just 2 hits, but both of them have been infield singles, including the one by John Peterson that led off this inning. Peterson stands at first base right now with nobody out. 1-2 pitch to Schoonover. Outside, 2-2. Schoonover has not been bunting on either of the last 2 pitches, but the third baseman, Sam Kippen, still playing in front of the bag, although well off the line for Olivet. Peterson over at first, runs well, and he dives back to the bag as the throw goes over from Dominguez to check on him. We've had just 5 total hits in this game. 4 of those 5 have been infield singles. Schoonover strikes out swinging at a pitch in the dirt. The runner takes off for second. Throw down in that direction is in time. It's a double play. Strike him out, throw him out, 2 down. Kevin Rada caught R.J. Reno trying to steal second base to end the top of the 6th, and now in the bottom of the inning, Johnny Peterson is caught trying to steal. First attempted steal of the year for Peterson. It doesn't go his way. Here's Pat Mahalik taking a ball outside. Mahalik is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 5 strikeouts now in the game for Dominguez. He's gotten Mahalik twice and Dabrowski twice. And Schoonover once. There's a bouncer to first, picked up by Hill. Hill will carry it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted. The inning has come to a close. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We head to the 7th. Still no score between St. Francis and Olivet. John Reardon still on the mound for the Fighting Saints as we begin the 7th inning. No score. Reardon will face the 5, 6, and 7 batters this inning. Kippen, Boltice, and Moonen. First pitch is up high for ball 1 to Sam Kippen. Kippen was in the batter's box with a 1-0 count in the 6th inning when R.J. Reno was caught stealing. Ball high, 2-0. On the day, Kippen 0 for 2. He's popped out to short and flown to right. He's ahead here, 3-0. Reardon walked R.J. Reno to lead off the 6th. Saints would just as soon not see a leadoff walk in 2 innings consecutively. He's walked only 2 batters overall today. In fact, he's walked R.J. Reno twice, and that's it. Nobody else has been issued a free pass. He's allowed just 3 hits. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Lead-off walk for the 2nd straight inning. Every base runner is monumental at this point in a 0-0 game with just 3 innings to play. And now for the first time all day, a couple of Saints will head down to the bullpen, and somebody presumably will start getting stretched. I mean, all day. This is game 2 of the doubleheader. There's been no need to look to the bullpen. Kevin Mampey went the distance in game 1. Complete game 2-hit shutout. Boltice takes ball 1 outside. 5 straight pitches, missed the strike zone to start the 7th inning. Boltice is 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. This time he's looking to bunt. Quirum charging in from third base with every pitch. Runner goes on 1-0, swung on and missed, and it's foul tipped. Foul tipped, and the runner will have to return to first base. The count is 1-1, and that's a big one right there, big call. Olivet head coach Todd Reed will argue this one. He says he may have tipped it, but Rada caught it, which makes it a live ball. The umpire said no, it hit the dirt before Rada secured it in his glove. It is a foul ball, and it's really not a call. You can argue, and you can argue any call really, but probably not going to win it. Nothing that can be said at this point, just a judgment play. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Man at first base after the leadoff walk. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Reardon to Boltice. No hit and run, no bunt, it's fouled away. First pitch they were looking to bunt, second was a hit and run, third pitch all calls are off, and it's just a simple foul ball to the right side. And now a 1-2 count. Reardon is ahead of Boltice. Strikeout would be mighty nice here. He'd love a ground ball at one of his infielders. Bunted with 2 strikes, first base side, it'll stay fair. Picked up by Reardon, who throws to first for the out. Successful sacrifice as Kippen advances to second base, but boy, Todd Reed, mighty gutsy with these bunts. That's the second time in the last 2 innings that he has done that. Not had the bunt signal on, and then with 2 strikes, put the bunt sign on. I can't remember ever seeing that before twice in one game. Maybe I have, I just can't remember it. I have a hard time remembering the last time I saw that once in a game. Moonen swings and misses for strike 1. You see guys bunt with 2 strikes every now and then, but it's extremely rare that the bunt sign would not be put on until there were 2 strikes. Moonen has had a big game at the plate, or big day at the plate, I should say. He's 3 for 4 with a walk and 3 singles. Strike called, it's 0-2. And while that might sound like a nice day, not necessarily a big day, keep in mind that the rest of the team combined has 2 hits. In the 13 innings so far of this doubleheader, the Tigers have 5 hits, and Moonen's got 3 of them. Ball high, 1-2. He's looking for his 4th hit of the doubleheader right here. It may prove to be the first RBI of this game. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Saints. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Reardon has come up with some big strikeouts when he's needed to in this game. He's got 6 strikeouts overall now, and with men in scoring position and fewer than 2 outs, he's been able to pick them up.
Designated hitter, Cameron Craver.
Here's Cameron Craver, came up as a pinch hitter in the 5th and dropped down a sac bunt. Still out there as the DH. He takes ball 1. 2 outs now and a man on second base. This is the 5th man to reach scoring position for Olivet Nazarene. But they've never had more than 1 base runner in any inning against Reardon. Strike called, 1-1. Oddly enough, that is something they accomplished in game 1 against Mampey. Despite Mampey throwing a 2-hit shutout, he walked 2 hitters in the 2nd inning of that game. Ball high, 2-1. Reardon has only 1 perfect inning in the game. That was the 2nd. He retired Kippen, Boltice, and Moonen, 1, 2, 3. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That's a big strike right there for Reardon. Fell behind Craver, 2-1, and now he's one strike away from ending the inning. Runner at second base, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no score in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Ball 3 high, the count is full. Ryan Campbell waits in the on-deck circle. He'll bat if Craver reaches base here. If he doesn't, the 3, 4, and 5 men are due up for the Saints in the bottom half of this inning. Payoff pitch. Ground ball left side, off the glove of a diving Mampian into left field. This will score a run. An RBI single for Craver makes it 1-0 Olivet. Nice effort by Mampy. There was no way he was going to catch Craver at first base, even if he had made that stop. But if he had kept it on the infield, Kippen would have had to stop at third base because it deflected off his glove on that dive and stayed alive in the left field. Kippen was able to keep on running, and he comes in to score, making it 1-0 Olivet, their first lead of the day. Here's Ryan Campbell taking strike 1. Campbell is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. Ball inside, 1-1. 106th pitch of the day from John Reardon. Fouled off, it's 1-2. The leadoff walk comes back to haunt John Reardon. Second straight inning he had issued a leadoff walk, and that's just playing with fire when you do that more than once. There was a sacrifice bunt, and then with 2 outs, the RBI single for Craver breaks up the shutout. This ball hit in the air behind home plate and out of play. Still 1-2. Reardon's 1-2 pitch. Runner goes. Bunted up in the air. It's caught by Rada, but it would have been strike 3 anyway because it was in foul territory. Third time in the last 2 innings that an Olivet player decided to bunt with 2 strikes. Once it worked out to perfection, twice not so much. But the inning is over. 1 run is in on 1 hit, 1 walk. 1 man is left. Time to stretch. Here in Crestwood, our score, Olivet 1, St. Francis 0. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and for the first time all day, the Saints are trying to play catch-up. Down 1-0 after Olivet scored with 2 outs on a single in the top of the 7th inning. The RBI hit came from Cameron Craver.
7th inning.
Craver is the 6th RBI of the season. Kevin Mampy leads off the bottom of the 7th for the Fighting Saints, and the reigning CCAC Player of the Week takes strike 1. Flew out in the first, he grounded out in the 4th. 0 for 2 against Dominguez. Canuel Dominguez on for his 7th inning of work. Ball outside. Dominguez has just one complete game this year, so not a guy you necessarily expect to get the final 9 outs. Ball inside, 2-1. He just threw his 83rd pitch of the day. And there's somebody throwing in the bullpen right now for Olivet. Popped foul and out of play by Mampy, 2-2. One nothing. The Tigers lead the Saints. It's their first run of the day in the top of the 7th inning after 13 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Popped up, foul, right side, and out of play. They were shut out in the 7th inning game 1, and both teams were shut out into the 7th inning here in game 2. This one will go 9 total. So there's still time for St. Francis to get that run back. And this would be a good inning to do it. Dominguez perhaps tiring a little bit. Mampy, Farron, and Rada coming up. Kevin Mampy fouls back another one. Good at bat here. He's seen 6 pitches so far. Just after 5 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. Shadows are splitting the infield. Set up directly between the pitcher's mound and home plate. Popped up, foul to the right side. Ben Hill chases it, but that's out of play. Temperature at 41 degrees right now. It's been holding pretty steady around 40 throughout game 2. It was just 34 at first pitch of game 1. Despite the fact that it's a little bit warmer right now than it was when we started here 4 hours ago. Swing and a miss from Mampy. Strike 3, 1 away. And despite the fact that it's a little warmer, it might feel a little colder right now as the sun starts its descent. It really depends on where you're standing outside right now. Home plate is in the shade. Home plate umpire, catcher, and batter, I think all pretty chilly at the moment. The wind has died down a little bit, though, I should mention. It was blowing out hard to right field earlier. Now just a gentle breeze out to right. Anthony Farron hits that in the air out to center field. Well hit but playable for Reno, who backs up and makes the grab, 2 down. That'll bring up Rada. Kevin Rada is 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. The first 13 Saints of the game were retired. Rada was the first man to reach base when he was hit by that pitch on a 2-2 count. The only 2 hits in this game for St. Francis are Michael Quirum's bunt single in the 5th and Johnny Peterson's infield single in the 6th. That ball drilled out to center field, but right at Reno, who barely has to move to put it away. Back-to-back flyouts on the first pitch to center field, and it turns into a quick 7th inning for Kenuel Dominguez. We've played 7, 1-0 the score. Olivet leads. into the 8th inning. Olivet Nazarene comes up to bat with the lead, 1-0. They scored on a 2-out RBI single from Cameron Craver in the 7th. And now it's the top of the order in the 8th, facing John Reardon for the 4th time each. Campy, Reno, and Minton. Alex Campy, 1 for 3 with a bunt single. Takes ball 1 high. There is a right-hander warming up in the St. Francis bullpen. He's wearing a sweatshirt, so I can't see who it is. Reardon well over 100 pitches now for the game. 1-0 to Campy. Downstairs, ball 2. Reardon has walked the leadoff man in each of the last 2 innings, so falling behind Campy 2-0, not a good sign. They were pretty quick walks, too. He walked Kippen on 4 pitches to lead off the 7th. Kippen's the one who ultimately came in to score. Walked Reno on 5 pitches to lead off the 6th inning, but then ended that one pretty quickly with a strikeout, a pop out, and then a caught stealing. Ball high, another 3-0 count. The right-hander warming up in the bullpen right now for St. Francis has removed his sweatshirt. It's Kyle Massaro. There's a strike, 3-1. Massaro was warming up as well last inning. At least I assume it was the same guy, Massaro, warming up last inning, and he seemed like he was ready to go. I'm a little surprised actually to see Reardon out there to start this inning, just considering how many pitches he's thrown. Strike called, it's 3-2. 113 pitches in the game right now for Reardon. He has not pitched poorly at any point, other than he seems to come out each inning with some control issues. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. Campy thought he had drawn the walk. No dice. He is rung up for the first out of the inning. 7th strikeout for Reardon. First one he's gotten looking. Check that. It's the second one he's gotten looking. The other one was also Campy back in the 5th. Here's R.J. Reno. 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Strike over the outside corner. Reardon trying to make it through this 8th inning. He's allowed just a run on 4 hits so far. He's walked 3. High fly out to right field. Schoonover looking for it. Moves to his right, and he's got it. 2 down. Nice quick second out right there. And Curtis Minton will try to keep the inning going with 2 outs and nobody on base. Minton has flown out. He's grounded out. And in an odd turn in the 6th inning, he struck out trying to bunt. After not squaring up on the first 2 pitches with an 0-2 count, he dropped a bunt down foul, which went as a strikeout. That's fouled back for strike 1. It's happened 3 times in this game. Once it was a successful sacrifice that led to a run, and twice it was a foul ball. But 3 times in the last 2 innings, in fact, Olivet Nazarene batters have not bunted on the first 2 pitches, and then with 2 strikes, they have bunted. Strike called, 0-2. It's an odd strategy, but it's been employed several times here by the Tigers. To be fair, ending that 7th inning was Ryan Campbell doing it, and it looked like he maybe was doing it on his own with 2 outs, just trying to get a surprise hit. There's ball 1. 2 outs, nobody on. 1-2 on Curtis Minton. 1-0 Olivet leads in the 8th inning. Righty versus righty, the pitch. Lined out to center field and in front of Pat Mahalik for a base hit. 2 outs, single for Minton. It's the 5th hit of the game for Olivet. And Minton, who is the catcher, will be removed for a courtesy runner, Thomas Larson.
First baseman, number 8, Ben Hill.
Larson, who is actually from Joliet, Illinois, home of the University of St. Francis. Came in and played most of game 1 in right field after Tanner McLean left with an injury. McLean collided with the wall. He was down on the ground for a few minutes. Got up, though. Walked around. He's been spotted walking around the field couple of times since then, but he is not in the lineup at any point of game 2. There's a fly ball hit by Ben Hill, shallow right field. Schoonover traces it in and makes the catch. The inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We move to the bottom of the 8th, 1-0 Tigers.
In the inning from Nazarene. Number 15, Michael. 4 out.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Saints still have 6 outs to work with, but they trail 1-0 as Michael Quirum leads off the 8th. Quirum is 1 for 2 with a bunt single and a ground out. Swings at the first pitch here and grounds it over to second base. Picked up by Moonen, who throws to first for the 4-3 putout. Last 3 outs for Kenuel Dominguez have been reported on 3 pitches. That is good news for a guy who, unlike some of the Saints pitchers, doesn't always go so deep into games. In fact, that's just the way things generally work for Todd Reed. He doesn't leave his guys in quite as long as Brian Mahalik does typically, as Sean Harper fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. Only 2 complete games total all season for Olivet in 30 games that they've played. That includes quite a few 7-inning games as well. Ball low, 1-1. So Dominguez, who has got one of those 2 complete games, you don't necessarily think of as a guy who's going to go the distance even if he has only allowed 2 hits. Strike called, 1-2, but his pitch count has been tempered by all the first pitch swings. 3 consecutive 1-pitch outs. Now it's 1-2 on Harper. This is the 95th pitch of the game from Dominguez, and it's looped over to the shortstop, fielded on the fly by Ryan Campbell for out number 2. Campbell seemed unsure off the bat of whether he wanted to charge that ball and play it on the fly or let it drop once. Caught somewhat in between, but he was able to make up his mind in enough time to make a sliding catch on the infield dirt. 2 down in the 8th. 7 consecutive outs recorded by Dominguez. He's only allowed 2 hits in the game, and both of them have been infield singles. No walks for Dominguez. Ball 1 outside on Dabrowski. There have been 3 total base runners, 2 infield hits, and a hit batter. But it's still just a 1-run game, and the Saints are very much alive. Dabrowski takes a strike. It's 1-1. Strike over the inside corner, 1-2. Two outs, nobody on base in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Saints won game 1 of the doubleheader, 4-0. Olivet trying to get them back with a shutout of their own. They're just 4 outs away. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Dabrowski chased one in the dirt. He has struck out 3 times now. as Minton digs that ball out and sends it over to Ben Hill to complete the putout. 1-2-3 go the Saints in the 8th. 1 inning still to play in this game. And Olivet Nazarene leads St. Francis 1-0. Olivet leads St. Francis 1-0 as we start the 9th inning. Sam Kippen, the only man to score in this game, leads off against John Reardon and takes a strike. Reardon over 120 pitches as he starts the 9th inning. Kyle Massaro, though, ready in the bullpen in case anything goes awry. Kippen 0 for 2 with a walk. Ball outside, 1-1. That walk led off the 7th inning. He was bunted to second base by Jacob Boltheis, who dropped down a good bunt with 2 strikes. And then with 2 outs, Kippen scored on a single hit by Cameron Craver. Ball low, 2-1. Craver hit a ground ball to the left side of the infield. Kevin Mampy dove for it. The shortstop was not able to make the play as it hit off his glove and ricocheted out to left field. Fouled away, 2-2. It's amazing how close we are to still being scoreless right now. Just an inch or 2 to the left, maybe Mampy is able to make that play and at least stop the ball from getting the outfield, if not actually record the out. 2-2. Foul back. Kenuel Dominguez has thrown 8 shutout innings for Olivet Nazarene. He's retired 8 consecutive batters. Saints will have Peterson, Schoonover, and Mahalik due up in the bottom of the 9th. That ball is driven out to center field. Mahalik comes streaking in for it, but can't make the play. It'll bounce once before Mahalik's able to field it. Nothing more the center fielder could have done with it. A leadoff single. So Kippen's on base for the second time today. And that brings up Jacob Boltheis. Boltheis is 0 for 2. He has flown to right and flown to left. And back in the 7th inning, he dropped down that critical sacrifice bunt. Mike Quirum's expecting him to do something like that again right now. He's in at third. And Boltheis squares up early. He bunts it to the first base side. It'll go foul. Strike 1. Kippen returns to first base. A couple of off days after this one. Saints are back at it on Tuesday. They'll take on Judson in a doubleheader. 3:30 first pitch of game 1, and that is a home doubleheader, but it won't be played here. It'll be played at Joliet Junior College. Next weekend, they are back here. Home doubleheader against Roosevelt next Saturday, and that'll start at 1 o'clock. The 0-1, Reardon to Boltice. Not bunting this time. It's a hit and run. Fly ball out to right field towards the line. That'll drop for a hit. Schoonover is able to cut it off and hold Boltice to a single. But Kippen was running on the pitch, and he makes it easily into third base. They're at the corners with nobody out. Back-to-back singles for Kippen and Boltice. And now Olivet is threatening to put this game away or at least come close to it. Nathan Moonen is the next man up. And it looks for the moment like Reardon is going to stay in to face him. Next pitch will be his 130th of the evening. And he will not stay in. Looks like he's going to stop at 129. Brian Mahalik makes his way out to the mound. He makes the call to the bullpen. And we've got a pitching change. 1-0, Olivet Nazarene leads St. Francis in the top of the ninth. Runners at first and third. Nobody out. And Kyle Massaro will come in and try to keep the score where it is. I'm going to step aside for a moment. Right back with the conclusion of the top of the ninth. Olivet leads 1-0. With Sam Kippen at third base and Jacob Boltice at first. St. Francis, nobody out in the inning, has called on a new pitcher. Right-hander Kyle Massaro. It's his 10th relief appearance of the season, his 11th game overall. He's 1-3 with a 3.78 ERA. In 16 and 2/3 innings pitched, he's allowed 12 runs, 7 of them earned on 24 hits. He's got 6 strikeouts and 5 walks. Opponents are batting .324 off of Massaro this season. And he'll face Nathan Moonen. Guy's been a bit of a thorn in the Saints' sides for much of the day. He's reached base 4 times in his 6 plate appearances, but most recently came up in a big moment with a man at second and 1 out, and he struck out. Massaro wouldn't mind the same here. This time, rather than a runner at second, they're at first and third. Quirum is playing in tight at third base. They're looking to turn 2 up the middle. First pitch is a breaking ball for a ball. Throw it on to second base as the runner takes off. Is not quite in time. And Jacob Boltice has stolen second. That takes the double play out of order. It's 1-0 on Moonen, and there are runners at second and third with nobody out. It allows the Saints to intentionally walk Moonen if they'd like to, but apparently they would not like to. And that's just fine. Ball high, 2-0. Cameron Craver, he of the only RBI in this game, is on deck. To Moonen. And there for a strike, 2-1. Corner infielders are both in. Middle infielders about even with the baselines. Swing and a miss. That's strike 2 on Nathan Moonen. An awkward cut on a high fastball. Couldn't catch up with it. Now that the double play is not an option, strikeout would be big for Massaro. He's not a strikeout guy, just 6 of them in 16 and 2/3 innings this season. But now's the time he's looking for number 7. It's in the dirt. Count is full. Line is not officially written on John Reardon yet because both men on base belong to him, but he pitched well for 8 innings. He allowed 7 hits. 4 of those 7 have come in the last 2+ innings he was out there. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 away. Huge strikeout as he gets Moonen to chase the high fastball. 1 down. Still a long way to go to get out of this inning, but it's a good start. Here's Cameron Craver. Craver is 1 for 1 with an RBI single. Sacrificed himself on a bunt his first time up. There's a bunt. It's a squeeze play picked up by the pitcher Massaro, and the throw home is not in time. It was not a good bunt from Cameron Craver right back to Massaro, but it was a suicide squeeze play. Kippen was going as soon as the pitch was thrown, and there was not much of anything the Saints could do to prevent the run from scoring once that bunt was dropped down in fair territory. So it's 2-0 Olivet. Craver is safe at first on the squeeze. It's not a hit. It goes as a sacrifice and a fielder's choice. Kippen scores. Boltice is at third. They're at the corners with 1 down for Ryan Campbell. And what a big second run that was. Runner goes. Pitch is taken for a strike. Throw down to second. And now there's a rundown. Runner at third is holding his position. And there's the tag applied for out number 2. Boltice never took off for home. It was a botched double steal attempt, and Olivet ends up with their second out. Saints are 1 out away from getting out of the inning. It goes a caught stealing. One run is in for Olivet. It's a huge run, but they had a chance to make this a big inning. They still do. Massaro, though, 1 out away from ending it. Fouled away, and now he's 1 strike away from ending it. Nothing in 2 on Campbell. Massaro is set. The next pitch drilled on the ground to the shortstop, picked up by Mampy. Long throw from the hole, and it's not in time. Infield single for Ryan Campbell, and it's 3-0. Jacob Boltice scores from third base on Campbell's infield hit. An RBI for Campbell. Olivet has added 2 more to their lead, and now you can close the book on John Reardon. 8 innings pitched. He allowed 3 runs on 7 hits. He walked 3 in the game. Struck out 7. He won't win. He could lose. Ball 1. Runner goes. Throw to second base. Not in time. Campbell has a stolen base. The count is 1-0 on Alex Campy. They're running ragged this inning. 2 stolen bases, 1 caught stealing for the Tigers. 3 stolen base attempts, all on the first pitch to the last 3 hitters. Ball 2. Campy has struck out 3 times today. He's also got a bunt single. 1 for 4. Swing and a miss. It's 2-1. Campbell's at second base thanks to an infield single on an 0-2 pitch. Kevin Mampy made a nice play to get in front of that ball, but just didn't have the momentum going his way as he tried to get it over to first on time. 2-1. Ball 3 high. RJ Reno waits on deck, hoping for a chance here against Massaro. Swung on, flown out to left center field. Chasing it back is Mahalik. He'll get to the spot and make the catch. The inning is over. 2 runs score, though. 3 hits in the inning for Olivet Nazarene. They leave a man at second, and we'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance coming up for the Fighting Saints. How much fight do they have in this one. They trail 3-0. Bottom of the ninth inning, last chance for St. Francis. They trail 3-0. Kenuel Dominguez still on the mound for Olivet, looking for a 9-inning complete game and his 5th win of the season. He's been magnificent through 8 innings. He's allowed just 2 hits, both infield singles. He's given up only 3 total base runners. And he has retired the last 8 men in order. Last man to reach, Johnny Peterson, infield single in the 6th. He leads off the 9th. And Peterson takes ball 1. Peterson, Schoonover, and Mahalik chasing 3 runs. It was a 1-0 game heading into the 9th, but a couple of big insurance runs picked up by Olivet in the top half of this inning. There's a ball high, and the count is 2-0. 101 pitches in the game now for Dominguez. But he's gotten through the last few innings pretty easily. Ball high, 3-0. Peterson is 1 for 2. He's got a ground out to go along with that 6th inning single. Ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk. And there's a man aboard. First walk of the game issued by Dominguez, and it comes against the first batter of the 9th. And it also comes on just 4 pitches. We're going to see a meeting on the mound now. No signal down to the bullpen. See if they decide to stick with Dominguez or go to the right-hander warming up. Actually, there's both a righty and a lefty warming up in the pen right now for Olivet. Again, Dominguez is at 103 pitches. He just walked his first man of the game. He has hit 1 batter as well. This is just the 4th base runner. Peterson's been on twice. The rest of the team combined has been on twice. And now we're at the top of the order. And those 2 runs for Olivet looking huge right now. They looked huge at the time they scored them, but even bigger at the moment because a very dangerous top of the batting order coming up against Dominguez with what would have been the tying run on base. Would have been fairly frightening for Olivet. Now they know they've got a little bit of room. They don't have to worry so much about the base runner, who is not, by the way, Johnny Peterson. They have pinch run for him.
Your attention, running over at first base for the Saints.
Runner at first base is Noah Carraro, who started at third base in game 1, and we saw earlier as a courtesy runner for the catcher in game 2. Ball 1 outside on Travis Schoonover. 5 straight pitches have missed the zone to begin this inning against a pitcher who had pretty much pinpoint control the entire afternoon up until this point. Schoonover takes a strike. It's 1-1. First strike of the inning for Dominguez. Lanky right-hander sets for the 1-1. Schoonover hits it in the air out to shallow left field. Alex Campy comes in for it and makes the play. 1 away. Peterson, or rather the pinch runner, Carraro, still at first base. As Pat Mahalik comes up. Schoonover, after reaching base 3 times in game 1, is 0 for 4 in game 2. Pat Mahalik is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Another guy who had a big game 1. He had a 2-run homer in that one. Strike 1 called on Mahalik. Kevin Mampy stands on deck, barring a double play. He will get a chance here in the 9th inning. And if Mahalik reaches base, Mampy would come up as the tying run. Ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Saints' best scoring chance in this game came back in the 5th inning when Kevin Rado was hit by a pitch with 1 out. That was the first base runner of the game. 1 out, hit by a pitch in the 5th. Michael Queeram followed with a bunt single. They were at first and second with only 1 out. And at the time, it was a scoreless game. Ball outside, 2-1. Sean Harper hit a fly ball out to right field. Jacob Boltheis made a pretty nice sliding catch. And then Nick Dabrowski struck out. The rally was over. And the Saints have not been able to mount one since. They've not had a man reach second base since then. Mahalik flips that ball out to left field. This sends Alex Campy drifting back about 2 steps, but he makes another catch. And the Saints are on to their final out. Their final hope is shortstop Kevin Mampy. Mampy is 0 for 3 in the game. He has flown out, grounded out, and most recently struck out. He bats with a man at first base and 2 outs, down by 3 in the bottom of the 9th. And the first pitch misses high and tight. 1-0 on Kevin Mampy. Trying to keep the ball game alive for Anthony Farron. Mampy takes the strike. Dominguez has been so good all game. Came out, didn't look his sharpest here in the 9th. His first 5 pitches of the inning all missed the strike zone, but he has settled in since then. Back-to-back flyouts, and now 1-1 on Mampy, who takes ball 2 low. Olivet Nazarene looking for a doubleheader split. After a shutout loss in game 1, they're trying to avenge it with a shutout win here in game 2. Nobody likes to be shut out, even if the Saints don't come back to win. They want to see Mampy come up with an RBI hit right here and get on the board. It would mean something. Ball 3 inside. 3-1. Farron waits on deck. He's got a little bit of power. And if he comes up, it will be as the tying run. He will come up as the tying run. Ball 4. After not walking anybody all game, Dominguez has issued 2 free passes here in the 9th. And that's the last batter he'll face. Too bad for Kenuel Dominguez. For as good as he's been all day, lost his control a little bit here in the 9th inning, and he departs with 2 men on base and 2 outs in a 3-run game in the bottom of the 9th inning. A pitching change with Anthony Farron coming up, trying to keep this game alive for the Fighting Saints. I'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment. Kenuel Dominguez's day is done after a strong 8 2/3 innings. Came up a little bit short of the complete game because of 2 walks here in the ninth, which have left the door open for St. Francis. Anthony Farron will come up as the tying run, with the Olivet closer Nick Campy looking for his 4th save. This is the 8th appearance out of the bullpen and 12th overall for Campy. He's 0-3 with a 5.52 ERA. In 31 innings, he's allowed 23 runs, 19 of them earned on 18 hits, 38 strikeouts, and 21 walks. Campy is a senior, the older of the Campy brothers. Alex out in left field, just a freshman, or rather a sophomore.
Olivet, Nazarene.
Kevin Mampy's at first base. Johnny Peterson walked to lead off the inning. His pinch runner, Noah Carraro, is at second. Anthony Farron is 0 for 3. Farron takes the ball high, 1-0. Farron, as I said before, has a little bit of power, not much. No homers this year, but he has in the past. A home run here would tie the game, although just getting on base would keep it alive. And man on the mound, Nick Campy, has a big walks problem throughout the season. His control has not gotten off to a strong start here. 2-0. 21 walks in 31 innings. That is a concern for Todd Reed and Olivet Nazarene, especially as he starts his first batter off 2-0. Farron takes a strike. If Farron does reach base, Kevin Rada would come up. And Rada, in that case, will be the go-ahead run. Tying run would be on base if that situation were to arise. 2-1. Farron hits a ground ball to second base. Gloved cleanly by Moonen. He throws to first, and there's your ball game. The Olivet Nazarene Tigers get revenge on the St. Francis Fighting Saints with a shutout win of their own. Each team got one. 4-0 Saints in game 1, 3-0 Tigers here in game 2. Let's go back over the scoring in this game. It took a long time for any of it to happen. What a pitcher's duel we had here for so long. Through 4 innings, in fact, neither team had a hit. And it took all the way, through 4 innings, there was only 2 hits total. They were both belonged to Olivet Nazarene. The Saints didn't get their hit until the 5th when Michael Quirum came up with a bunt single. But there was a time in the 7th inning of this game in which there had only been 1 hit into the outfield. Then in the 7th, Sam Kippen drew the leadoff walk. He advanced to second on a Jacob Boltai's sacrifice bunt and scored with 2 outs on a Cameron Craver RBI single, just out of the reach of a diving Kevin Mampy from the shortstop's position. So it was 1-0. That remained the score heading into the 9th inning when Sam Kippen singled, Jacob Boltai singled, and John Reardon had to depart with runners at the corners and nobody out. With the new pitcher Kyle Massaro in, Massaro did good work, but a suicide squeeze bunt as well as an RBI infield single for Ryan Campbell extended the Olivet lead to 3-0. 1 turned out to be enough, but the 3 was even better for the Tigers as they come away with the 3-0 victory. Final totals for Olivet: 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. For the Saints, no runs, 2 hits, both of them infield singles, and 1 error. With the win, Olivet improves to 18-14 on the year and 8-5 in conference. With the loss, St. Francis falls to 15-18 this season. They are 9-5 in the CCAC. Winning pitcher in this game is Kenuel Dominguez, who couldn't quite finish off what he started. Went 8 2/3 innings. He allowed only 2 hits and 2 walks. He struck out 7, did not allow a run. The losing pitcher is John Reardon. Reardon pitched well, 8 innings. He allowed 3 runs, although 2 of them came after he had already departed the game. So he allowed only the 1 run through the first 8 innings, but 3 total. He did that on 7 hits. He struck out 7 as well and walked 3. Reardon, despite the well-pitched game, falls to 3-3. With the win, Dominguez improves to 5-1. Campy faced just 1 batter through only 4 pitches, but got a ground out, so he's got 4 saves on the season now. That's going to do it for today's broadcast as the Saints split their doubleheader, a 4-0 win and a 3-0 loss. They're back at it with another doubleheader on Tuesday at home at Joliet Junior College against Judson. First pitch on Tuesday afternoon at 3:30. Again, our final scores in this one: 4-0 win in Game 1, a 3-0 loss in Game 2. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Good night, all.